What's up, everybody? Happy Thursday. Hope all you're having a great day so far today. Getting into this episode of GH. I enjoyed this episode for the most part. Sunny was sitting there asking Sasha all these questions about how the guardianship and stuff was going. And of course, Gladys talking about, oh, it's a work in progress, and the staff came up with ways to save the company and stuff. And I'm so glad Sunny had the foresight to be like, you know what? Let me come up with an excuse so I can talk to Sasha alone without Gladys so he can get the real tea. And I like that because I'm like, exactly, you're not really going to get the real out of Gladys. So he came up with some BS excuse. He was like, oh, Nina did something different in the kitchen. Let me show you. Just to get Sasha by herself. And he asked her, he was like, all right, we by herself now. Be real with me. What's really going on? Like, is everything good with Gladys? Did she try to block, any decisions being made at deception and stuff like that? And Sasha admitted that she did at first, that she tried to object to some things at first. But she finally came around to the way that they were thinking. And that's my thing. She tried to say, oh, Gladys realized that the deal was good and, she got her best interest at heart. I don't want to see Sasha get played. I really don't, because as much as I was happy that Gladys stepped up for her in a way that Brando would have wanted, like, she's really been there for Sasha. But you got to remember, Gladys is a tricky one. Not too long ago, she was all about this. And I feel like that old self is starting to resurface. Because Miss Wu was at the Metro Court, sitting at a table, and Gladys come walking up, talking about, oh, it's always good to see a fellow investor. First of all, ma'am, you're not an investor. Let's get that straight. Gladys, you never invested. You are overseeing Sasha's estate. That's all you're doing. You're not an investor in deception, not even by default. So once Ms. Wu heard all that, she was like, oh, an investor and stuff like that. Like, once she heard that, Gladys was overseeing Sasha's estate and stuff like that, she was like, oh, let me invite you to my poker game and stuff like that. She gave her the card, where it's going to be, the password to get in. She was like, don't tell nobody about this, because not everybody can afford to buy in. So, Sunny and Sasha popped up and stuff, and he was surprised that Ms. Wu knew Gladys. And, they try to cover it up saying, oh, because, Miss Wu is she's an investor in deception and stuff like that. That right there, it speaks volumes. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing good is going to come out of this, because I have a feeling Gladys is about to get herself into some shit that she can't get out of, and she's going to use Sasha's money to do it. I feel like she's about to destroy Sasha's shares in deception and her money. Like, she's about to ruin that shit. I feel like Ms. Wu is about to pull a fast one on their ass. Ms. Wu is about to fleece them, because I never heard of Gladys being a good, gambler. Like, is she good at poker? I'm just saying, like, because she's about to use this girl's money to play poker and gamble. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, and Sasha is so naive to it because she keeps thinking that Gladys is on her side. She got her best interest at heart. And I'm like, no, man. Y'all need to go ahead and get a different guardian. Like, y'all need to find somebody who could step up and be a guardian. I wish that she could go to Dante or somebody, or Michael even. Somebody to step up and be a guardian for her, because Gladys ain't it. Gladys is about to fuck her shit up. Like, by the time Ms. Wu is done, Gladys is going to destroy that estate. Like, Sasha's not going to have nothing left. And I wouldn't be surprised if Ms. Wu found a way to get her hands on Sasha's share of deception as well. I wouldn't be shocked. And if Gladys does go down that road and do it, that's pretty fucked up for her. That's jacked up. So anyway, moving on from that, Britt finally told Brad the situation between her and Ms. Wu, because Ms. Wu came up, and put both their drinks on her tab and stuff like that. And Brad was suspicious. He was like, since when did my aunt start liking you? You know what I'm saying? Because remember, Ms. Wu couldn't stand Britt when she first met her. Like, she really didn't care for her. But she's been cordial towards her lately. So, of course, Brad was mad suspicious about it. So, Britt finally told him the real. She was like, your aunt basically blackmailing me. And she wanted me to get you to work for her instead of the hospital. Honestly, I thought Brad was gonna be upset with his aunt and Britt about this, but surprisingly, he wasn't. Like, he didn't blame Britt for it, and he actually likes working for Miss Wu. I mean, I could understand being in that world. You know, it could kind of change your mind about some things because you see the high life of it. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's dangerous, but I'm pretty sure like he sees a lot of things in it that's, you know, likable. Minus the danger aspect of it, it's a lot to like about that kind of world. You know what I'm saying? Like the Flash and, you know, all that. But when shit get real, you better learn how to duck or shoot. Just saying. You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna get real when you in that world. So they decided to go out dancing and stuff like that. I like their whole friendship. I really do, because Britt definitely could use some good friends. I'm just saying. Ain't nothing like some good people to have around you. Most definitely. So anyway, moving on from that. Laura is definitely not here for Holly at this point. Like, you know, Holly was spouting off all this other stuff, and that's when Robert and Laura started thinking, like, did you remember something? And she was like, no, I didn't remember anything. And she went out to get some air or whatever. And Laura pretty much kept putting Robert up on game. Like, she was like, listen, I feel like she lying. She holding something back. She know more than what she's saying. And she know that Robert, deep down, Laura know Robert knows something is up with her. You know, because he even caught her whispering with Deputy Mayor Ashby. You know what I'm saying? So Robert started to think. He was like, you don't think she could be working for Victor? I mean, come on now. Look at her behavior. It's very suspect. You know what I'm saying? And I get why Robert didn't want to believe it. You know, he loves Holly. He doesn't want to believe that she's, you know, corrupt or she's working for Victor. Love is blind sometimes. You know, he really loved that woman. And he don't want to believe that she's capable of that. You know what I'm saying? But she is. I mean, come on now. Holly done had plenty of dealings with bad people over the years, you know. But I believe obviously she's being forced into doing this. It's not of her own volition, because she was talking about how people use you and they gaslight you and stuff like that. That's what made them look at her like, what you know that we don't know? You know what I mean? Laura is definitely no fool. It's like woman's intuition. You know what I'm saying? She could tell when she being lied to. And while Holly was outside, she started having flashbacks. So apparently Holly was the one who did shoot Lucy. Holly shot Lucy wearing an Anna mask, and she framed Anna for it. I'm not totally surprised by that, because Victor is definitely, you know, up to his shenanigans up in this bullshit right here. He's up to his eyeballs in this. This is Victor written all over it. I believe he definitely forced her into doing it. He gaslit her into doing it. And I think Holly at this point is probably scared to tell Robert. You know what I'm saying? But I think she should. Even though she's probably protecting Ethan at this point and probably protecting Robert himself. But I think she just need to go ahead and tell him the daggone truth, because they could all work together and turn the tables on Victor. You know what I'm saying? If they all know this, she could keep playing Victor, maybe even wear a wire or a listening device and get him to, you know, cleverly admit something that they could use. You know what I'm saying? Like, do something. Because at this point, they all need to band together and get this done. So anyway, moving on from that, Sam came to see Dante and stuff at the station, you know, and listen, she done brought that man some hoagies. Hoagies? I mean, what man in their right mind turning down a hoagie? It just sounds good to say it. Hoagie, 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 hoagie. I mean, shit, we all love a good hoagie now. Come on now. Can't turn that down. Dante think he's slick though, because he kept telling Sam that he knows Sonny has something to do with Anna's, you know, escape and stuff. And he tried to get her to tell him some of Sonny's safe houses and stuff. And Sam didn't see the point in telling him that, because even if Sonny did have her stay at one of his safe houses, she got to be long gone by now. And they know it. You know what I'm saying? So there ain't no point. And my thing is, Dante should want her to get away. And I know deep down he do. You know, at the end of the day, he still got to do his job. But, you know, you should still want her to get away. And besides that, the damn U.S. Marshal done took over the case. So, and I don't even think the PCPD is even handling Anna's case no more. The U.S. Marshals done took that over. So, I would be rooting for Anna at this point. Because that U.S. Marshal, he crooked. He crooked too. Little self. I hated the way he tried to barge in Jordan's office that they demand and shit. You better demand yourself out my office. I would have kicked him right in his little ass. Don't come in my office demanding nothing, bro. So anyway, moving on from that. Liz played the shit out of Esme. Like she was, you know, the whole time Esme was passed out, she was sitting there talking about how she might have to do a C-section without anesthesia and stuff like that because Nicholas didn't want to take her to the hospital. And they might have to do a C-section and take the baby out and all this mess. And that shit got Esme up real quick. She said, if you don't get the hell away from me. Even Esme was pissed that Liz, of all people, was cunning enough to play her. Like, Esme, I know in the back of her mind, she like, damn, I must be slipping to let Elizabeth play me. And Elizabeth played her good, too. She played her fucking good. I loved it. So now they done locked her ass back up in the room and stuff, and Esme sitting there crying and stuff. She felt the baby kicking, and I guess she was calling the baby Ace or whatever. Esme is really softening up, and that's what she want to kick herself a little bit because this baby got her feeling emotions that she normally don't feel, like human, like human emotion. And Esme's not used to feeling human emotion, but she's starting to feel it now that she got this baby. So I'm guessing she really is pregnant. And she's still trying to figure out a way to get up out of there. Elizabeth was so naive. Like, she really thought she was just going to go over there, do this one little thing, and that was going to be it for Nicholas. No, ma'am. No. And that's what I said in my last video. If you think that's the only thing that you're going to do regarding Nicholas and Esme, you're bugging out. Like, you're sadly mistaken, because just like Nicholas pointed out, he said, yeah, it's too late for that. It's too late for you to be out. You're in now. Because Esme can sit there and tell, if she does break free or get to talk to somebody, she could easily say that Elizabeth was a part of this, that you're now an accessory. You know what I'm saying? So once you're in this, it's too late now. You're in. So Elizabeth ain't got no choice but to pretty much step in and be a nurse at this point for that baby. Because she didn't want Nicholas to take Esme to Cassadine Island, because that's his plan. Take her to Cassadine Island. She has the baby. He raises the baby on his own. And she just stays on Cassadine Island for the rest of her life. And Liz was like, yeah, that's not a good plan. She was like, yeah, no, you can't do that. So he was like, well, what else am I supposed to do? He said there ain't no other alternative. But Liz was like, I'm not going along with that plan. So basically, she stepped up to be the nurse pretty much for Esme. I feel like this is a fool's move on her part, and I feel like it's going to have bad ramifications for Elizabeth, because I feel like not only is it going to mess up her and Finn, it's going to have a lot of legal ramifications. You know what I'm saying? Because we all know shit going to hit the fan with this, and soon Ava's going to find out. The police are going to find out. Like, how the hell is Elizabeth going to evade charges? Because now you're knee deep in this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're in this now. You know, ain't no backing out at all. But that's why I feel like Liz was bugging out for even offering to be the nurse. Because she was like, no, Esme's going to stay here in Windermere. I'll be, you're going to need a nurse. So basically volunteering herself to be the nurse. Because Nicholas told her, he was like, yeah, you're in this now. It is too late to back out. But all he wanted her to do was go home and stay silent about all this shit. That's what he wanted to do. So she volunteered herself for the rest of this. So I'm like, it ain't going to go down as Liz may think it is. It ain't going to go down as smooth. Like, it's going to have some turbulence to it. It ain't no way in the world I'm going to prison for nobody. So Liz, I would call the authorities and be like, listen, I just found her. I wouldn't give a damn what Esme say. I'd be like, listen, I just found her today. Because I ain't going down for this. That was pretty much the whole episode. Hit the comment section. Let me know what you all thought. And I will see you all later. Have a great night. Peace.